Welcome, everybody. I want to thank Rita, Randy, and Kendrick. I can't think of a better way to get this party started. And they did it with such pizzazz. It was so nice to have all of you enjoying the hors d'oeuvres and meeting new people, and it's just a real treat to see you. Okay, is this better? Okay.
Remember, most of us are hard of hearing.
Oh.
Get right on the microphone.
Okay. So the people who are just playing music, they're part of the band, and they're going to be playing shortly. So everyone get your dancing shoes ready. And I'm going to, and our caterer Dave and the band, I'm going to talk about them a little bit later. Okay. And make sure you save room for more amazing food at our buffet dinner. Look at all your smiles. I can't believe it. I'm just so overcome with joy seeing you all here.
We're all happy to be here.
I'm just shaking inside. I'm so happy. And so thank you for all coming, and I know some of you traveled a long distance, and I appreciate all the effort that you made to get here. And I have to thank the sun for shining on us today. I mean, we're either end yesterday and tomorrow. Look what we got today. So thank you. And I just wanted to tell you that these last 2 weeks, I became a weatherman junkie. I couldn't believe how quickly the forecast changed every day. I mean, from hour to hour. And when I saw that, I think it was earlier in the week, I saw that full image of the sun from Monte Rio. Well, I grabbed onto it, and I never let go. And that's why it's here. So, as you know, this party was planned last fall. And I want to tell you a little bit about how that came to be. So many of you know how much I enjoy planning surprise birthday parties for Lizard. Our last party was in 2008. And for the past few years, I've been itching to have another party. But Lizard, he didn't want any more parties. And he made it very clear, no more surprise parties. So At one point last year, when it became evident that we would maybe someday get out of our COVID bubble, I thought what a perfect occasion to have a party. So I wanted to have it last October, but the date wasn't available. So I found out that there were two dates in September, one of which was the 19th, which was when I was turning 70. So I took that as a sign. I said, this is meant to be, because this way I could honor Lizard's wish to not throw him any more parties where he's a main focus. So I'm very glad to take that focus away from you today. So talking about focus, I want to divert here for a minute and tell you about something I was focused on. It's a game I played with myself. I have a fascination with numbers. And so I thought of today's date, May 7th, or 5-7, and I added those numbers together, and I said, I wonder what other scenarios I can come up with that have the number 12. So I came up with 6 different scenarios. 1, Lizard and I started dating 39 years ago. You got your brains working? 3 and 9? Okay. And our wedding date was 6/24. And we got married in 84. Now this next one is one that's really clever. Okay. So in 12 years, we're going to celebrate our 50th wedding anniversary. And that year is 2034. So you got the 1 and the 2 and 12, and the 2, 034. Amazing, 12. Amazing. And then, okay, to continue, so the party was first scheduled for the 19th. Today's the 7th. 19 take away 7. You got it. And the last one is that I'm celebrating my 70th birthday. And when am I celebrating? The month of May, the 5th month. So I had a lot of fun with that. And I just wanted to share that. So now back to the party fun. So the band's going to play their first set soon, and then we will have a buffet dinner in about an hour. Jackie, in the green top, she's our party coordinator, and she's going to let each table know when it's their turn to go up to the buffet table. And a little before 8, we have a very special surprise. I'm not giving any hints, so just hang around. And that will be followed by some memory sharing, a champagne toast, dessert, and more music and dancing. So right now, the plan is to move the people who are eating indoors to outdoors for some of those festivities. And we'll just see how the evening goes with the weather. Last but not least, I want to acknowledge the key people who helped putting this party together. First and foremost, I want to express a deep gratitude to you, Jackie. You have been by my side from day one. You've never missed a beat, and you attended to every detail, and there were many, with such finesse and grace. And I think you have a second career coming as a event coordinator or event planner. She also took on the job of selecting all the wine and the beer and the champagne. So my niece Lynn, who sadly couldn't be here, she introduced me to the online invitation site. And she's very tech savvy, and I am not at all. And she patiently and graciously held my hand as I navigated my way throughout that whole process. She encouraged Lizard to create the design for the invitation, and she thought to put them on posters. And so if you haven't signed it already, please do so. They're at the front door. When I asked Jackie to recommend a caterer, well, that was a no-brainer. So Dave already has a long history with our family. Jackie and Dave, they shared a dormitory room. They were neighbors in the dormitory at the freshman year of college. And they graduated and they went their separate ways. A few years later, Jackie befriended a woman whose sister wound up marrying, of all people, Dave. So Jackie and Dave reconnected, and Jackie wound up working for Dave's catering company for over a decade. And Dave even catered my great niece Sarah's baby naming party, and that was over 20 years ago. I think we're aging, everybody. So we're honored to be Dave's last private party, as he is devoting all of his time at Skywalker Ranch, where he's the executive chef. And Dave is going out in style, and I might add, with a big bang. So there's also history with our band. Some of the band members from the old Michael Boulevard band played at our wedding, at Lizard's 50th and 70th surprise party, and they've added two beautiful new faces. So it's a huge treat to have them back, and I'm so glad that they committed to this date after we had set up an original date that was 8 months ago. And I'm super excited to hear what they have in store for us. My friend Barbara did all the beautiful flower arrangements, and I think this week was mighty hard because it's Mother's Day tomorrow, and she was competing with all the people buying flowers. So I know Barbara from our Village Bakery days, and she did all the floral holiday decorations for that. And once again, she has shown her flair for flowers. In addition, we have Ted, our videographer. And for those of you who want to share some memories, please find Sarah and Will. Where are Sarah and Will? There they are. They are going to guide you to Ted. So if you are not camera shy, please share. And Cynthia is going to be taking lots of photos, and undoubtedly she will capture some of those expressive moments that we never know what we're making. And I'm looking forward to experiencing this party all over again once I have the video and my special photo album. Please feel free to take your own photos as well. There can never be too many photos. And pass them on if you so wish. So one of my wishes for today is for everyone to stay healthy. And something that sustains me is the feeling of gratitude in my life. And today, this feeling of gratitude for you is ever so present in my heart. Thanks again for coming. Hooray. We did it. And you all made it happen. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, you are the lucky winner of the centerpiece. You get to take the centerpiece home.
She is my aunt, and she's always been an inspirational person.
Ellen is my first cousin. My dad and her mom were siblings, and she was my favorite cousin on my dad's side, partly because she was closest in age to me, but also because she was such a sweet person.
Because she's not done things that everyone does. From where she grew up in Bayside, New York, was very conventional, and she broke out of that and followed her own path.
And people say that we have the same eyebrows, so they can tell when they look at pictures which one's related. And I really remember singing it. I love remembering singing at Ellen and Lizard's wedding, which was like 38 years ago. And it's just nice to have had her in my life all these many years.
Childhood, the Bayside house is what I remember.
You know, and she's always been the same. She asks questions, and then she really listens, and then she really gets what everybody's talking about. And so it was this characteristic that I saw when she was like 11, and I just really I always liked her because of it.
To California, which I admired, and I followed her from New York, and she really has lived her life the way she wants to live, and has found a partner for life who also is in sync with her, and I just admire that. And
well, Lizard and I went to high school together down in Ventura.
So Ellen, you have shown me how to be an aunt and how expansive that role is. So from you being a part of my life for my entire life, but also all these little pivotal times that have stood out to me.
I came up here to see him, and Ellen was not there. She was off maybe at the bakery doing something. And so we hadn't seen each other, man, 30 years easy. From Ventura High School, and so I was really curious, who'd marry Roger, who'd marry a geologist.
Rich childhood memories. I believe it's the room you shared with Nancy with the 2 twin beds, and we would always cut through that to go up into the attic, and the large blue bathroom, and could you have had 50 shampoos,
And it just is something she has up till today. And I just like that she has really chosen her life, you know, and it's outside the norm box, and it suits her to a T. And love visiting her in Nevada. And so it's great. So glad she's my cousin.
So Ellen, happy birthday. I can't believe finally it's happened here. You're having your celebration, and you seem so excited. I wanted to say that I've always found you to be an inspiration because you have followed your own path, and you didn't stay in New York where everything was kind of stuck. You followed your path to California. I was one who followed you. And I love how you've lived your life with Lizard, and you always seem like such a great partnership, and it's just so great that I have you as an aunt.
And we all moved from New Jersey to Corte Madera to California. I was so lost and confused, and there you showed up with little Muffins, your sweet little dog, and I felt like I had a big sister. And then later, when I was living in Italy, and
So I got to meet Ellen at the Rock House, and we had good stories, good times, and just the friendships grew closer and closer, so we wound up spending more time there and getting to know Ellen much better than we had earlier on, and helped them build the Straw Bale House, which is really quite something. And so here we are with a multitude of friends, and it's just grand.
Ellen, it's so great to be here at your party. I'm so glad we reconnected. So we go way back, 1974, right after graduation from UNH. And we met at the Kittery Schoolhouse and shared that house and that wacky job with our boss, Judy.
You were in college then at the time, but we visited you in New Hampshire University and went to the restaurant and there were no hamburgers on the menu. And you told us what to order and it worked out well. Thank you for making all the pizzas and your time at the beach house you shared with us.
So many good times, happy memories, but also we had challenges. I remember when you lost your little dog and it was so stressful and so sad for you. And I learned from Judy, I think, that it was your sister's dog and it was very precious.
I'm here because Ellen is a very special friend. When I moved to Sebastopol 11 years ago, Ellen was kind enough to rent us a house, and it was a lovely house, and lived there for a couple years and moved out. But Ellen, as I've discovered being at this party, just keeps in touch with everyone.
Ellen, you have shown me the expansiveness as an aunt. In other words, the role that you have played in my life has shown me what is possible. I'm now an aunt. I am an independent woman. I have a little dog. I've traveled the world. So how I can live my life, you've modeled that. You've modeled how you can be an amazing stepmother, how you can be amazing, step-grandmother, and really just embrace all your friends and your community like you've done today at this amazing party. So thank you for allowing me to be a part of this gathering.
She has been a true friend in many ways and very supportive of my career, of my family, and she is a special person. So I'm glad this party finally happened, and I wish her a happy birthday, and I appreciate her friendship.
I remember how happy you were when the dog came home, or somehow someone told you had the dog. And then we reconnected when you lived in the Sebastopol area. And then after all these years, here we are back together. And I'm so happy to be here with my partner, Michael, and celebrating your birthday. And I look forward to your coming to visit us soon.
Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Grandma Ellen. Happy birthday to you. You want to do a little dance for her? Dance! There you go. All right. You bet.
Bonsoir Mabdio, bonsoir Mabdio, chantez. Bonsoir Mabdio, la reine Congo Lambaya. Bonsoir Mabdio, bonsoir Mabdio, bonsoir Mabdio, la reine Congo Lambaya. Bonsoir Mabdio, bonsoir Mabdio. Bonsoir Mabdio, la reine Congo Lambaya. Bonsoir Mabdio, la reine Congo Lambaya. Bonsoir Mabdio, la reine Congo Bonsoir. Diego, merci un peu pour danser.
Pas de problème. Avec plaisir.
Bon bagage, mon cher.
Merci beaucoup.
As you saw today, as you know of her, if you know her, she's a fabulous organizer. And you know what a stage manager is, of course. You've all seen theater. Well, Ellen was the stage manager of all stage managers. And I met her at the very earlier part of her relationship with Lizard. Lizard and I were on Golden Pond. We were the old people, and we grew into that role, as you can see now. I mean, we should play it now. Without Lizard, we'd be right the age now, right? But we pretended, and of course that's theater, we pretend. But we didn't pretend about Ellen and her fabulous ability to organize. What? Oh, louder? Oh, it sounds so loud to me. Okay. All right, then I'm on it. So I'm talking about Ellen, and when I first met her, and I first met her as a stage manager and saw her organizational skills. And I predicted at that time that one day she would have this fabulous party, and we would all be invited. And voila, we are, and here we are. Thank you, Ellen, for such a wonderful, wonderful party. It's great. That was also the time when I was talking to Lizard, and he said, yeah, I'm going to ask that woman to marry me. And I said, what? Not that sweet Ellen. Not that sweet, sweet Ellen. You couldn't do that to her. Well, he did. And it was a wonderful mating, and now we see the results of it. They're gone, they moved away, they went bye-bye, and that was so sad.
I've known Ellen for a very long time. You know, I met Dawn. Yes, right there. Is that better? Dawn, right? Can you hear me? Closer? Closer. Yeah, I could find, is there any woman who could say that to me? That'd be great. Dawn, I met Dawn, who was your roommate at Judy Kale's house, the Kittery House of Corrections, Learning, what was it? The Montessori School, yeah, okay, there it was.
Ellen, happy birthday to you. Lizard, I know you're a happy man right now, okay? So I just want to tell you this, much love to you, from my heart to you, okay? All right, I hope we get together again. All right.
And I want to say thank you very much for all that you've done for me, especially when my husband passed away, and for the family. I really appreciate it. And it's so easy to remember how old you are because we're 10 years apart. So it's wonderful. And you are loving and generous, and I appreciate you very much. And our family does too. Thank you.
I've known Ellen for a very long time, and I got to tell you, I will never have a heart as big as this woman. How many people are here because Ellen persisted in keeping the relationship alive? Anybody? Anybody? I have fallen off the radar many times, but she always sends out the letter, and you know, it's like she won't go away. I want to tell you, who was here for the first party in September? I was. Did anybody else get the word that the party was canceled?
Quite a few years ago, that this young lady came in to the village bakery, and she said, "Is there any chance I can come and work here for you?" And I said, "Well, I don't know, what do you do, kind of? Do you bake or?" And he said, "No, not really." But I said, "Well, we'll start and see how we work out together." And we have built a relationship that has been phenomenal.
I don't know. I'm always the last to find out. Anyway, I've known Ellen for 50 years, 45 years. Anybody know Muffins the dog? Did anybody know Muffins the dog? There you go, Muffins the dog. It's a real tribute. I mean, you don't have too many friends in your life who will really, really stay committed to keeping the friendship alive. And Ellen has a great heart, and she's a loving person, and I think we're all here because that's what she is. And thank you. Thank you very much. And Lizard. And Lizard.
Woohoo! Oh, that's funny. So I met Ellen because I worked with Lizard, and I did 3 trips at least to the desert with a crazy Scottish woman who drove 100 miles an hour with her hands not on the steering wheel for part of it.
I didn't actually prepare any stories, so whatever I come up with will be true and maybe a little awkward. So let's see, a story. I met her when she married my dad. And that, yeah, it was a marriage in the redwood trees. I'm trying to think, is this a roast? Okay, all right. One of the things I really like about Ellen is that she can always get you with the most awkward personal question when you least expect it. So, say you're sitting with your new girlfriend, she will ask you about how every other girlfriend she's ever met is doing, which can be a little awkward. So that way you find out pretty quickly if your girlfriend has a sense of humor or not. And luckily the one I married does, so that worked out. I think I'll leave it at that, short and sweet.
Ellen was the absolute powerhouse of the bakery in the background, maybe. But she did all the organizing. She saved us from so many things. And she has been a true friend through all of that. And I sincerely love her and am thankful that we met and still keep in touch. And thank you for the party. It's beautiful.
When I first saw you and Liz, I thought, this can't work. What? I quite frankly was very shocked when you first got together. I didn't believe it would last. And what is this now, 30 years later or something? What? 39 years. God. And the only thing I can say about Ellen, because I haven't really interacted with you all that much, it's just that you were probably the most planning person. That's a place that I connect with you. I like to plan and I like to make lists.
I swore I would never mention about Ellen, but it's the only story that I can tell about her that I can remember. And this story is about how the time Ellen drank 3 glasses of wine. I can't tell anymore.
Hello, Ellen. I met Ellen, she came to I used to have a salon before I retired, but she came there and I knew a lot of her friends. And I always just really liked her and had a great time when she came in. And we befriended each other, and I just think you're the most wonderful person. So thank you for your friendship, and I honor it, and many blessings to both of you.
Does this work?
Yes.
Well, I have to, whenever I get a mic like this, which isn't very often, I have to play with it a little bit, so just indulge me a little bit on it. Oh, it doesn't work for me. I want to be a Tuvan throat singer, but that's good. Okay. Yeah, I think everybody has really nailed Ellen, and this non-roasting situation is, gentle roasting, not like what she did for me.
Saying you were going to have this party, and then you changed the date, and then you changed the date again, and then you queried everybody whether they could make that date, and you're a pretty phenomenal organizer. I can't imagine that you're living out in the middle of nowhere with nothing to organize. But you must be organizing something. I guess your lives together. I don't know. But it seems to be working for you, and I'm so happy. And the next party I have, I'll make sure I'm inviting you because you inspired me. I kind of was thinking, I don't know if I can do another party again, but you did it, and you're doing it. It's a wonderful occasion. I'm so glad you invited me, and you'll be invited to mine too. Thank you for. Okay, great. I was just going to put a tag on that last thing. What Ellen organizes are the Mormon crickets. I'm sure you have heard about the Mormon crickets. And it's kind of driving her crazy because Mormon crickets don't like to follow any plan that anybody makes for them. So keep at it, Ellen. I'm sure eventually you'll get somewhere with them. Okay.
I'm Wendy Nicholson. I knew Ellen before a Village Bakery career. We worked at Living Skills Press with the author Joy Berry, and she ran Living Skills Press. She was the boss of all. And we worked with this woman that published books for children that were published all over the United States by multiple publishing companies. And I ran the home front. I took care of Joy and her estate and her kids.
If you've never been to see Ellen Lizard in the desert, you must go because they live in the closest place to heaven that you'd ever could imagine. Lizard and Ellen built their latest place out of rock, out of the desert in Nevada, and it's at an elevation and humidity level that is unsurpassed for viewing the stars. If you're a friend, they're kind to you. They'll let you stay in their old cabin alone, and you get up in the middle of the night, go to the bathroom, look straight up, don't look down, and you will see the most stars. If you could imagine looking up and there being a star like everywhere, that's what you'll see when you go to visit them. And it's like heaven, and now you understand why Ellen and Lizard live in a place that's called nowhere, because there is like everywhere. So you must go see them.
We're here tonight because this very dear person to me wanted to celebrate her 70th birthday with as many friends as she could round up. And this was like a year and a half or so ago. So, you know, everybody was in their bubbles and in their islands and already. And we figured by that September, well, it'd be time to come out, but it wasn't. So we had to put it off. And so it's still kind of a little bit iffy, but she is the one that brought us all together. And we're here face to face and mask to mask, and it makes you realize that we're really smart human beings. We can make all kinds of ways of communicating at distances where we don't see each other, but there's something about being together that hasn't been figured out yet, that it's not gonna, none of these other things really fill the bill, like getting together as a group of friends that have just met for the first time tonight, maybe. Ellen knows every friend here, I'm sure, and I know most of them, and I've met some other really nice people. And I just think that friendship is one of the things that we've been missing somewhat for a while. And I think that it's a very, we're all here, we're all together. You talk about no man is an island and this sort of thing. John Donne, I think, said that a long time ago. Probably wasn't the first one. But I really wonder where these islands are that men aren't and nobody's on. I don't think there is such a thing as islands. We can make up islands sometimes when we get something like COVID, and we can kind of get into our homemade island and be somewhat separate from each other. But it is hard. It's hard. It's something that humans need, I think. We're on this earth. We got this little skim of life-supporting a film on the surface of the earth, and so we need our oxygen. We all need that. We need food. We need shelter from the storm. All of these things. But I think we also need human contact with each other. I think it's very important. I personally have tried to be a hermit at one time and realized that there was nothing to it for me. There's something about human contact that is like an essential, maybe not quite as essential as breathing, but pretty doggone close.
And Ellen knows about what I went through, and I know a little bit about what she went through running that business. And she is a super organizer. She's also a super connector. She's someone who honors connection and loves the people that she's worked with, known, and been involved with forever. And I'm so honored to be able to be here and look back. I worked with Joy for 13 years. That was a very interesting part of my work career long ago. And then I heard her go on to Village Bakery and other things, and I went out and saw Ellen and Lizard at the Stone House in Nevada before they had 2 homes there. And it's a memory that will live forever. And I am just so happy to be with all of you honoring Ellen at the 70th birthday celebration. And we look back at years that we worked together, and we kind of know a little bit about what each other went through to pull all that off. Right, Ellen? Thank you.
You know, Ellen has been a great inspiration to me. She's taught me a lot about the value of friendship. She has more friendships than anybody I know of. And she never loses a friend because it's just not right. So I would like to raise a toast tonight to sweet Mel and Ellen, and to friends. Friends from just because they just saw you the first time and said have a nice day in a certain way, or friends that you've had for your entire life because you understand each other, you accept each other. So I say a glass to friends. So there's going to be there's desserts somewhere. And where are they? They're inside. Lots of desserts, very good ones, I'm sure. And then there's going to be lots more wonderful music from Kendrick and his merry musicians. And they're going to tickle the sound waves some more. So stick around.
you.